Okay, so hi everyone, Senan on this side, and today we are going to solve this daily question, which is of spiral matrix, and this is the number 3. So I have already solved, I think, spiral matrix 2, and if you want to solve this, I suggest you first solve spiral matrix 2, then solve spiral matrix 1, and then come to spiral matrix 3, right? Although this problem is also on a simpler side, but anyways, what you need to do is, given this test case, you need to assume that the matrix is actually completed, right? So you go to 1, 2, then down, then left, then up, then right, then down, then left, then up, and then right, then down, and go on till you cover all the elements of the matrix. And what you need to return is the order of the indices of this 2D matrix, right? If you see this sample test case, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then 9, then 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and in this spiral order. That is why spiral matrix. But if you observe, one thing to observe is, first you go one step to the right, then one step down, then 2 step left, 2 step up, 3 step right, 3 step down, 4 step left, 4 step up, 5 step right, 5 step down, 6 step left, 6 step up, and so on. So you have to increment every, first you increment 1 2 times, then you increment 2 2 times, then you increment 3 3 times, in that fashion. So okay, we know that. So now what I will do is, and as you can see, first you start going towards the right, and since I would be doing this in C++ and also will be using some lambda functions in this. Okay, first of all, I would do is create this return answer or answer vector, which we will use to return the answer, and in the end we would return this answer. Fine. Now let's say int move is equal to 1. So this is the counter that we will use to move right, down, left, up, right, down, left, up, and so on. So this will keep track of number of shifts that we need to perform. Now the next thing is, how many times do I actually have to follow this circular loop? So let's say max iterations is equal to max of rows or columns, right? So there is a slightly better way. So this is the worst case possible, right? You don't actually have to go through this worst case. We can optimize this to something else, which I will discuss after we solve this question, not right now, but this would also do the job, right? Fine. And given row start and column start are the indices of the 2D matrix where we actually are going to start. Now fine, now what we have to do, we have to traverse this matrix spirally. Okay, so there is no matrix exactly, it's just a hypothetical matrix that we are going to use. So int I is equal to 0, I less than max iterations, and I can go I plus plus. Fine. So I don't think we would be using this I or this counter I. Now first what I have to do is move towards the right? So what I do is, for int j is equal to 0, j less than move, and j plus plus. And what I do is, since I'm moving towards the right, I would increase the column. So let's say int row is equal to r start, int c is equal to c start. Fine. So since we are moving towards the right, what I would do is column plus plus, right? I would increment the counter. Now assuming I have moved a step right, now what I need to do is move one step down as well. So for that I can say r plus plus. Okay, this is also fine. Okay, now what I do is, obviously you are seeing that I'm not putting any values in the answer array, because I would do that in a moment. But first let's write down the traversal and then we'll see what to do. Now since I've moved 1 times to the right, 1 times to the bottom, now I need to move 2 times to the left and 2 times up. So what I do is I increment the move by 1. Now similarly, what I do is take this, make a copy, and rather than going right, we'll go left by c minus minus, and going up by r minus minus, and again we do move plus plus. So this would take care of our traversal. Now whenever we input any value of this in this answer matrix, we need to check if the indices are within bounds, right? So rather than going towards or going inside each and every for loop and checking if else, what I would do is I'll declare or let's say lambda functions called within is within, and like this is equal to, and what will it take as an input. So it will take in basically rows, how many rows are there in this matrix, columns, and let's also give the answer matrix and we'll add the value within this lambda function. So lambda function is basically a function which you use around 1 or 2 times. It is not so significant that you create a special function and give it a name and store it somewhere. This is something that you use on the go, and this function will take, so so in the square brackets, these are the values that this function would have already access to. So rows, columns, and this answer would be already supplied, or the scope of rows, columns, and answer would be inside this within function as well. And since you cannot exactly just pass the answer, you pass it by a reference. And now it would take a row number, int column number, and what it would do, it would return nothing, so void. So now let's just write the function body. And so first of all, if we check if 0 is greater than equal to r and r is less than rows, fine, this would check the validity of this r inside the matrix. Similarly, what we would do, we would check for column as well, equal to c, and c is less than cols, fine. So after we do this, we are sure that the values of r and c are within range of this matrix, right? Now if that is the case, what I do is not within but answer dot push back, and what I would push is a vector of basically this r and c. So basically this would be our answer. Now what I do is after every movement, I place this, I call this function within with arguments r and c. So if whenever we are let's say we are traveling from 1 to 2, so we are at 2 after c++. So what this does is it will check this row and column number. So column number is 5 and row number is 1. So it will pass 1, 5. Now if 1, 5 is within the range of rows and within the range of columns, so this is a valid entry in the matrix, right? So we will push this element inside our answer. Otherwise we won't do anything, right? Since this is a return type is void, we don't do anything. Anyways, return, since this is a lambda function, we have to write this semicolon after this function definition, right? Because this is some sort of a statement. Now what I do is take this and give this to each and every for loop, and we are almost done. So if you are focusing properly, you know that we are missing one thing, and that thing would be is to actually check if the starting index is inside it or not. Basically, I think it would be, given our start is within the domain, so this would always be true. So either you can start it already by giving our start, or you can initialize it before, or you can just call this lambda function. Obviously, you know this would be true, so you can start anyways. So this is also good. Previous one is also good. I did not actually need RNC, but just for ease of writing, I did that. And let me just check if I am missing something, in which I think I am not. Let's just run this and see if it is working fine or not. So as you can see, this is accepted again. Yep, you see that we have some sort of complicated answer and it is working fine. I think we are good to go. Right, if you want the Java variation or Python variation, Python would be, I think, more simpler than this. What you do is just copy paste this code on ChatGPT. You can see if you want to convert this into a different language, how to do that. But this is what it is. Let's just submit this and finish the video. So yeah, it's accepted. Maybe not the best solution in terms of runtime, but it's great. So anyways, thanks for watching this video, and if you learned something, please be sure to share this video with someone who you might think would need this. If you want, you can subscribe. If you don't want, no worries. I'm not that fond of a lot of subscriptions, as long as I can help you guys. So that is, yep. So that was the video, and bye.